Yeah.
I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one.
Yeah. Man.
I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with the hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop. I want to say welcome to episode 830 of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab radio show and podcast. The show that's covering the sporting HBCU diaspora, all things HBCU sports, for institutions large and small, from the NEIA to the NCAA. We share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture, HBCU athletic aesthetics, and facilitate the story of HBCU athletic programs in the business of HBCU sports. I'm your host, Dr. Kenyatta Cavil, along with my co-host, Mike Washington, Charles Bishop. We have A.D. Drew jumping in here as well. So we have a full cast of individuals ready to give you your updates, professors as we like to call them. So we're filming from our home studios and sending a signal live to K-Sway 1230 AM studios with the Texas Radio Hall of Famer, multi-Hall of Famer that is, Ralph Cooper, in the beautiful home of Texas Southern University from Houston, Texas. Let me give a shout out to Ralph Cooper as his birthday was yesterday. Shout out to Ralph Cooper. Happy belated birthday. And then, as I said, everybody else is from their home studios except for Mike, who likes to do it different. He's at a little swanky coffee shop. I'll let you him explain the rest of that to you. With that, though, let's bring everybody on and let's get it started. With that being said, Mike, how's the coffee shop?
Coffee's going good, man. I walked in, there was two people now.
Say, man, what you got in that coffee? What you got? Never, don't answer. Don't answer that.
Hey, right now, this is just coffee. For now. I walked in here, was two people in there. Now the show starts, it's 50 mofos in here. I'm like, where are these people going? So anyway. How's everybody doing? Glad to be in the house. Appreciate it.
Oh, it was nice. It's nice. Charles, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Doing about as well as expected. Got a little bit of tooth pain, but we're gonna fight through. So
yeah, we're gonna muscle you through it. If I see you grinning, I know why. I'll switch quickly to somebody else and pivot and let you grin and bear it a little bit. But Mike, you would have been proud of me.
How so?
For the Haiti game in Brazil.
Oh my goodness!
I had me a Haitian sangria. Took me a nice bottle of wine with fruits. And,
I met some friends. I met some friends from Brazil that worked for Arkema, and we had real caipirinhas. Brazil. Caipirinha. If you don't know, if you never had one, you better find out. You better have one.
Go ahead and teach the people, man of the people. Big Mike, as he travels around the world, gets a shout out. But yeah, I thought about you. I said, "Oh, Mike would be proud of old yacht. I can get some points on this one." I said, "Oh yeah." Took me 3 days to watch.
As they say in France, "Muito bom, muito bom."
He's a world of the people, worldly man. A.D. Drew, how are you doing? I see you had your Morehouse stuff on. Good look.
Good look, lazy look. I didn't change clothes before I came on the show, so that's all that's about. Nothing spectacular. Although, this weekend, when your boss puts you to work on your off day, Juneteenth, I had to work Juneteenth. But I'm not as mad because we picked up 2 big A checks, so I'm cool with working on one day as long as we picking up big A checks.
Yeah, I see you. I'll take my day though. I'm trying to get a big check and get my day. You know, I guess where
Don't work like that at D2, Doc.
I hear you. I understand. Trust me, I
Okay.
understand.
Okay, don't let Doc smooth that over because everybody wish they had a check like Doc. Doc write a check and the bank bounce. I'm saying.
Oh man. I wish they let me know. I still trying to figure that one out. But as Emmett said, shout out Ghana, tied with England. That means they stay at the top of the standings. I think that was 4 points apiece. Both of them won their first game, and so they tied. I know going to half was 0-0, so be interesting to see. That
That's
means
Neil, Dr. Cavil.
Neil, that's right, Neil. Soccer terminology is important. These folks will get you, even though half of them just saying stuff and don't know what they're talking about. Can't tell you offside if they saw it without VAR. With that being said, let's get into some news of the day because we got a big interview today. We'll hold it over for 2 segments. See if we can give some updates with folks out there. I'm gonna start with you, Charles. Get yours in and out of the way. So, any news that you're thinking about today?
Yeah, some news coming out of Mobile, Alabama as the Gulf Coast Challenge. That press conference was today. Sam Shade and Coach T.C. Taylor both talking about their upcoming matchup this upcoming year in the Gulf Coast Challenge. But good information coming out of it today. Sam Shade, they talked a little bit about the admiration that they have for Jackson State, but this is a season they have 6 home games, so they got to figure out a way to get it done. And I love the energy coming out of Jackson State. You know, the swag is always there, but they got the hard hats on this upcoming season. So they got the bitter taste in their mouth, a little bit of humble from losing last year in the SWAC championship. So it's a good Jackson State group that I'm very curious to see when they get out there on the turf this season.
Yeah, Jackson State is a tough one, certainly when they are a little disgruntled. So it'll be interesting to see Jackson State this season, particularly when you talk about the East. A couple of other teams in the East said they want a piece of it. Can they get over the hump? One being Alabama State, and they got Jackson State at home. Well, we've seen how that looked in many years. We'll see if it matters this year. With that being said, let me shift to AD Drew. What's on your mind?
With tonight being the NBA draft, let's take a quick look back at some HBCU NBA draft facts, courtesy of HBCU Game Day. Just a couple facts. Earl Lloyd was the first player drafted in 1950 by the Washington Capitals. Another Earl the Pearl Monroe, was the highest draft pick ever. The Winston State grad was selected number 2 overall by the Baltimore Bullets in 1967. That's for those who don't know, that's the current Washington Wizards now. Number 3, 21 HBCU players have gone in the first round. I will not name them all, starting in 1957. Tennessee State and Jackson State have had the most players drafted with 23 each, followed closely by Grambling with 22. And last fact, Kyle O'Quinn is currently the last HBCU player who was taken in 2012 in the second round by the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, AD, one of those 21, Purvis Short, used to babysit me at Jackson State.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool. Wow. Talking about smacking your chops. I hear you, Charles. I see you.
Yeah.
You gonna make me do some homework, AD Drew. I'm gonna have to see who was the last HBCU player selected in the first round. As you're looking at to see if you can get that out of there, let me go to Mike. On your mind.
Tennessee State's Carlos Rogers, number 11 to the Seattle Supersonics in 1994.
Was the first round.
Ding, 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 ding. Congratulations, AD.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
stuff, good stuff.
And Sam Jones was the first player selected in the first round in 1957 by the by the Boston Celtics at number 8.
Sam, boy, that was. Ooh, I bet
Sam,
you know.
woo.
Since Charles is
Yes.
telling somebody babysit, I did get to meet Sam at the CIAA tournament with Dr. Cunningham. They played against each other when he was Dr. Cunningham was Virginia State, and then obviously Sam was at North Carolina Central. I didn't get too deep and say who got the best of each other because they were both there and they seemed still uh, intimidating. So I kind of left that part out. But I'm gonna have to follow up with Cunningham and talk about that a little more. With that being said, Big Mike, what news of the day you have that's on your mind?
Well, this is in honor of my godson, I guess, and nephew, one of them, who plays hockey and lives in Minnesota.
Oh,
And I
that's
don't know
right.
if yes, he plays
Reggie.
club hockey. He plays for a semi-pro team now, but he at one time he was considering the Tennessee State program. Well, as you know, and have seen lately in a lot of the social media, the Tennessee State program could be finished before it begins. That's the headline. That's not the actual fact. The interim president, Dwayne Tucker, told the athletic organization that the university is evaluating whether it can support and move forward with the men's hockey program, which was announced in June 2023 in partnership with the NHL's Nashville Predators. A final decision could come within the next month if sufficient financial backing is not secured. Now, there's some other things. Tennessee State President Dwayne Tucker has been made several announcements, and quote unquote, I can tell you we're not going to move forward with a hockey program if the sustainable funding is not there, Tucker said to the publication. Because if you flip over to the university side, unfortunately, there's no funds through 2030 that can provide a startup program. Now, to give you a little bit of history behind this, man, this program started at the end of 2020. There was a feasibility study started in 2021 where Tennessee State partnered with the Nashville Predators to do this exploration or basically study that looked at cost, requirements, local interests, the yada yada. And then fundraising campaign. The Tennessee State Friends of Hockey Initiative started up, aimed to raise funds, and then there were other partnerships. So my question that scratches your head is, what happened to all of this? Was the final decision to go the route that they did? Did it get sidetracked by recent needs and priorities to develop? So that's where we are with Tennessee State hockey. I know, actually, I have two nephews that play hockey, non-traditional sports for African American, but growing. So it's a real big concern. It'd be unfortunate if they're not able to work this thing out. So that's my news of the day.
So, Charles and AD, you notice Mike tried to talk about my pockets. You notice his sons play lacrosse. His nephews play hockey. I was like, that's a family with some money that's able to kind of prove.
Hey, it's some deep pockets over here on the right hand side of the column.
Yeah, I'm just saying somebody ain't doing too bad for themselves.
Well, I can come up with 50 cents every now and then. So
Mike, you got to stick to an
have an
sport black folk know about,
question,
like baseball.
Mike, in terms of you had what was going on. I think the answer is all of the above.
Yeah,
different presidents, different folks, different atmosphere in terms of supporting those communities that support environment like that has changed. So I would say a little bit all of the above. That being said, let's take our next break and we'll come back on the other side and we'll get back into some dialogue, see if we can get our interview going. We'll be right back after this first break.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a state, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes, You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU.
If you've ever told yourself, I want to get into real estate but don't know where to start, here's something just for you. From Friday, July 31st to Sunday, August 2nd, the Learn Real Estate Fast Masterclass is coming to McKenzie Office Park in College Park. You'll learn wholesaling, commercial investing, and how to purchase property with zero money or credit. I can tell you, education and access are everything. This masterclass is designed to give you both. Whether you're brand new or ready to level up, this is where you start making real moves. Enjoy free lunch, free study materials, and receive a certification of completion. So don't wait. Seats are filling fast. Do not sit on the sidelines while others build wealth. Take that first step toward ownership and legacy. Get your tickets now at learnrealestatefast.com or tickpick.com. For more information, call 678-859-3303. Master the market, build your legacy, secure your future today.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavil of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna law, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. There we go. And we have Mr. John Grant with us. He's the executive director, if you would, of the Cricket MEAC Swag Challenge Kickoff, Cricket Celebration Bowl, as well as the Band of the Year. And now, with this announcement he just made, it is Cricket MEAC Swag Challenge Kickoff presented by Toyota, Cricket Celebration Bowl presented by Toyota. So just wanted to give you some love there. And I see, I don't know if John Grant is woken up or if he's trying to see something clearly. Let me just ask, John, how are you doing today?
Am I in the right place?
See, don't start. Don't start. Don't start.
He's only here because you're here, John.
I'm just saying. There's a guy on here impersonating Mike Watts. I mean, you guys need to do something about this. How you guys doing, man?
Mike, we're doing really well. Excited, but it was amazing to me. Mike last Tuesday made his big hurrah, came back and did everything. Then all of a sudden, Thursday went awry, and I told him, "Hey, we're gonna have an interview with John Grant." He said, "I'll be on. I'll be on."
See, I see how it is. Shots fired. I see how it is.
Those are shots that said, "Man, it is good to see you, my friend."
No, likewise, good to see you as well. And for the record, I had no idea. I don't know what Dr. Cavil been telling you, but I had no idea.
As
Oh,
we
so
let's just jump right in here, John. I mean, this is a big announcement, and we took a couple of segments last week and really got a chance to take our deep dive. So now we get a chance to really talk to you about it. But there were so many touch points that Toyota as a presenter, and then title in terms of halftime show, which I'm not sure if I've heard that type of sponsorship deal before. And then obviously the band of the year. The commitment that you have surrounding this in so many different ways, touch points. Let me ask you this first. We'll get into some of the importance of how that came to be. But as you start to look at sponsorships and understanding the creativity of and importance of giving a sponsor touch points, when did you first get the idea that Toyota may be a sponsor that is interested in multiple ways that they can connect? How did that all come together from that perspective?
Well, we've been in discussions with them for the last 3 years, approximately. From introduction up until we made the announcements last week, and now we're married, so to speak. We've been dating for 3 years, but the conversation, it always starts with us around making sure that we do our research, that we understand what the business objectives for our partners are first and foremost. And we have to make sure that we have a clear understanding and alignment with what they need and what we can deliver. And if they have needs that we can't deliver, then it's never a good fit, from our point of view. But after many conversations, they made visits came in to take a look at our properties. During those visits, we had some detailed conversations around how the assets that we had, how those assets tied into their KPIs, and how we believe that we could deliver upon those. And we were able to then look at what our asset inventory was, and carve out things that we believe were of value, present those to them. Some of them they looked at and said, this will work. Can you tweak other things? Yes, we could. And then we were able to put together a deal that made sense for them first, and then certainly for us. But it was always about us looking at how we can help them. And that's what really moved the conversation along and brought the deal together.
Wow.
Really good. I know Big Mike was smiling when you said KPIs. He's introduced that to us previously in a couple of shows. So I'm gonna let him have the next question, since he's smiling so big when he hears those type of terminology, asset inventory.
so just to build off, what you said about this dating period. That was one of my first questions. Where did this start? This started with a courtship. This started with an introduction. But as you got toward the end, there's alignment and there's key indicators that you just alluded to. And I would ask if you could elaborate on some of, as you go into year one, what some of those key indicators, will be. Is it return on investment? What metrics will carry more weight internally and externally, if you can share that?
I can to a point. So the obviously the things that were important. Let's back up and say what they're in the business of. Toyota, they're in the business of selling automobiles. You start there, and everything that they do, in conjunction with everything that we do, drive people to have interest in owning a Toyota of some brand or model. And with that in mind, certainly they were interested in how we use our assets to drive with data-driven matrix to drive impressions that are measurable. They were interested in in scale, in terms of beyond just the two singular events, but the scale, meaning the width and breadth of, by us being able to start literally around media day, and actually a little bit before, but media day, all the way through really the end of January, with a window that gave us the capacity to engage consumers, a message to consumers, create communication channels that allow the message to be delivered, and then to be able to quantify those around each individual property. But the properties all together gave us the ability to not only create the runway that I mentioned, the length of time, but then the diversity within which each property is comprised. Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge presented by Toyota is an invitation event. We invite schools to participate. It's a national platform opening the college football season in week 0 on ABC. It's a premier event. They wanted that. The Cricket Celebration Bowl, now presented by Toyota, is a premier event. They wanted that. But they also wanted to make sure that their brand was positioned in a way that was prominent. The first question they asked us was, well, when is your title sponsorship over? Well, that's not available. Then we had to turn and look at what are the opportunities we have to make sure, because what that indicated to me is they wanted prominence. They wanted to be prominent. So then we looked at, well, what are the other opportunities we have to give them prominence beyond just the title sponsorship? And that became the presenting sponsorship level. Because again, every time the name is mentioned, if you're title or if you're second, you're going to get a mention. And that Mike is what that and some of the other things, because the band of the year then gave another reach, because that crosses over into all 4 HBCU conferences, where the kickoff game and the bowl game directly with the Division I MEAC and SWAC. The band of the year has all 4 conferences plus the NAIA plus the independents. So that scale in total, time, reach, across the entire HBCU diaspora, was something that we were able to put together in a very compelling and appealing way to them. Long answer to your question, but I hope that was
No. I think I thank you very much, first of all, for even answering and addressing the question with so much detail, and the breadth and width that you brought up is very important with the title of sponsor, both from a systemic standpoint and from a sustainability standpoint. So thank you very much, Mr. Grant. I appreciate it.
Charles, let me let you jump in here and ask the question. We'll take a break after that and come back and let AD get into with some other questions.
I gotta wait, man. No, I'm just playing.
Cause we said you.
I'm trying to set you up.
He about to go back online.
Oh, don't come back here and think you wrecking shop now, Mike.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I am.
Mr. Grant, I'm fascinated by the timeline, the 3-year timeline, and especially when we take a look at this skewed political environment. What does it say about the portfolio of the MEAC SWAC Challenge, the Band of the Year, the Celebration Bowl, for a company to take a look at that portfolio and say, we want to marry? When we see corporations sort of shine away from diversity, inclusion.
Well, I think it says, it clearly reflects the significance of those properties. I mean, they're the largest scale of properties when you look at total live audience. And we have to recognize that today, total live audience is what matters, because it goes back to the one word I said earlier, scale. And, Toyota's the #1 automaker in the world. So they do major events. They understand what's required. They know what they're looking for. And so as a result, as a property, we have to understand that we know what they're looking for, and then be able to present what we have in a way and in a manner that they're accustomed to at the scale that they're accustomed to. And we, we study the market, Charles. That's a requirement. You have to constantly study the market, evaluate what the market, what it is. And quite frankly, we don't have that challenge of, I have yet to have one company say anything to me about reduction because of DEI. Because we don't present what we do as DEI. We're a content platform. And this game behind me is nothing more than content that we create. And so strategically, we want to make sure that we are creating world-class content that people want to consume, that has value to our partners, and that we can quantify. Because I'm going to go back, that matters too, that we can quantify what we deliver. I'll give you an example. We're able to quantify for them and show them with real data points, not something we made up, but actual data point. Last year, the Celebration Bowl had over 2 billion impressions throughout the whole year. So we have metric systems whereby we track all of that every month, compile it. That's just for the Celebration Bowl by itself. The Band of the Year had its own hundreds of millions of impressions. And the same thing with the kickoff game. And when we compiled that all together, I mean, the numbers were just amazing to them. But keeping in mind, they also have the tools to verify what we presented, which is what they did. And, it all made sense for them.
Sure. Thank you.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's take our next break. John, we'll ask you to hold over and we'll have our second segment. We'll start it off with AD Drew, and then we'll get into some more dialogue and see if we can sneak up and get some breaking news from you. We're going to try to pull it out. I know you have your own time and place you do that, but maybe you get to talking a little fast and some of it just spills out.
Yeah,
we'll
he
right
loves us.
After this.
He loves us.
Yeah, exactly.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
If you've ever told yourself, I want to get into real estate but don't know where to start, here's something just for you. From Friday, July 31st to Sunday, August 2nd, the Learn Real Estate Fast Masterclass is coming to McKenzie Office Park in College Park. You'll learn wholesaling, commercial investing, and how to purchase property with zero money or credit. I can tell you, education and access are everything. This masterclass is designed to give you both. Whether you're brand new or ready to level up, this is where you start making real moves. Enjoy free lunch, free study materials, and receive a certification of completion. So don't wait. Seats are filling fast. Do not sit on the sidelines while others build wealth. Take that first step toward ownership and legacy. Get your tickets now at learnrealestatefast.com or tickpick.com. For more information, call 678-859-3303. Master the market. Build your legacy. Secure your future today.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a state, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSM Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSM Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJDN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Sports Lab. The professors are in the building and they are here with John Grant. He has so many properties that I'm not sure that we have time to name them all. Nah, we do have time. We have the Cricket and the X-Way Challenge presented by Toyota. We have the Cricket Celebration Bowl presented by Toyota. We have the Red Lobster Band of the Year presented by Toyota. And we also have a new piece of branding that was brought out that I'm fascinated by. And hopefully we get a chance to talk a little bit about that. But in terms of a sponsorship for the band Halftime that allows it to be a preeminent framework that, again, is not something that I've quite heard from this framework before. So I'm excited to get in that question. But before I do that, I promise to bring out this segment. I was trying to allow AD to get a little bit of his but he was so ready to get his question in, and he could not wait. And I can understand it. He's an excited brother. He gets like that at times. But AD Drew, your time to shine. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
And it's ironic that you say that because I'm going to actually yield my time to shine and ask a question to the chats, because I think when we have somebody like John Grant on, although we can get our questions off, I think it's important that we engage some of the comments out of the chats, because these are the people who are either going to be watching the game or buying tickets to the game, depending on where they are at. So my question comes from Emmett Jones. John, do you anticipate more local advertising in the Atlanta metro area as we get closer to the BXWAC challenge? And how is the advertising budget for the local media? Thanks.
Great question, Emmett. Thank you for asking that. And the answer to that is yes. You're going to see radio as a part of the deal we have with Toyota. They're going to be investing in advertising and marketing on the properties as well. We're going to have the same thing coming from our partners at Coca-Cola, along with our own investment. But yes, you're going to see it across a number of platforms, including television, radio, billboards, etc.
Good stuff. I want to kind of follow up that and really get into your role as the executive directors and those that you may provide the assignment to kind of do this kind of work. Can you give us some insight of what it looks like when you start designing the business portfolio in terms of marketing? How do you make those decisions? Because this day and age, marketing can be seen in so many different ways. You know, you have social media avenue that you can utilize, radio for some demographics may be more important. You have television, and part of that is just the national brand itself with ESPN and ABC. It is in itself a component of that. In fact, this is an ESPN event. But then you have local television. And there's so many different availabilities, and individuals that may like to see stuff marketed to them in certain ways may want it that way, but other folks may want it different ways. How do you make a judgment in terms of how you parse that out in the decision framework of understanding the multiplicative ways that individuals want to be attached to them, or what they believe is the right way to market?
Well, that's a great question. And again, it's all about making sure you're studying the marketplace. And the marketplace is two fronts. It is one, you're right, what the consumer is looking for, but two, what does the investing partner, what they're looking for, and the channels to and I'll go back to a sponsor can be looking for, a huge number, a number specific of impressions to help meet their KPI. And then we look at what are the tools that are available to help us deliver that. The second part might be recognizing and understanding where consumers are actually consuming content. One place that is real that we know, social media is a driving force, and a lot of advertising dollars goes into that platform because there's a lot of consumption there. That's a place where a lot of people are consuming content. A reality is that in linear television outside of sports is on the decline. That's why you see a lot of linear networks really making moves to get into sports. But you also see a linear network companies like Fox just making the purchase that they made to get into streaming, because that's literally the long-term future. That's why Disney is putting, going all in on their direct-to-consumer through Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Plus, etc. And so we try to utilize Dr. Cavil and understand all of the channels that are necessary to first deliver for our partners. We have to deliver for them, and then to make sure we're communicating with the consumers in across. So we will determine how much we invest where to make sure we're getting the best ROI.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Great questions coming in. So what I will do is we'll capture some of these questions. Because of time, we'll send them to you. We'll get that information, then we'll see about delivering it either Thursday or next week. But I'd be remiss if I didn't give you some platform to share some things that you wanted to make sure that you got out during our interview.
Well, I'm about to take over your show, Doc, because I want to answer the questions that people have, those that are like really important. So I have time.
All right. Well, let's make an adjustment.
This is important.
We have one from Edwin. He says, what demographic is most available in the Black radio market? I'm not sure if he's talking about the actual market, like Atlanta is or was the last time I looked the number one radio market, or if he's talking about age groups within that market. So you can take it either way that you think you best can answer that question.
18 to 35. It's pretty straightforward. 18 to 35. That is what. That's also what most companies are looking for, unless you're doing something like Depends or, things that are market
specific. Yeah, for a certain group.
18 to 35 is a category.
Good stuff. I think we had another one here I wanted to get in here in terms of I can imagine combining the different niches. Band football may be great in terms of the eyeballs. Was a question in terms of equates to demographics, a lot of eyeballs and attendance numbers. So I guess that was just more of a comment. Trying to get into some of the questions. Here's one. Mr. Grant, are there going to be any incentives on discounts extended this year to groups or business interested in purchasing MEAC Swag Challenge and or Celebration Bowl tickets as a block? Is that available?
No.
Only individual tickets?
Well, you can buy in blocks, but there aren't discounts associated with that. If you're buying 50 tickets.
There are blocks, but no discounts.
That is correct.
All right. I wanted to make that because I thought I knew there was blocks.
Yeah, there are blocks.
Discounts was the no
discounts.
With that being said, I think we got the ones in there. Any late questions, get it in. Grant said he would do it. Here's another one. Michael Road Dog Reed. Also, Mr. Grant, has there been any thoughts as to having a Celebration Bowl basketball classic at State Farm Arena during the bowl weekend as a sort of passing of the torch event?
There hasn't been a consideration of doing a basketball tournament around the Celebration Bowl. That has been done in this market before. The Chick-fil-A Bowl at one point had a basketball event around their bowl game that they discontinued it because of the lack of success around it. And so we learned from that. Does not mean that we may or may not, or probably won't, have some kind of basketball event at some point. But I can neither confirm nor deny that will occur.
Can I put my 2 cents in on that one?
Yeah.
Can I just a FYI, because I do have a copy of the advanced basketball schedule. Morehouse has a home game on the Celebration Bowl day, and since I have a little bit of influence on the time that we play, that game will start after the Celebration Bowl. So if you want some basketball, just go to 1.1 miles from the Benz over to the AUC and come watch Morehouse if you really want to watch some basketball. And we might even let you in with a discounted ticket if you show us your Celebration Bowl ticket. Ooh, did I say that on the air? My bad.
Yeah, I think that's good marketing. We talk about marketing. In fact, that's the next question.
Advanced marketing.
Yeah,
I got some questions coming in over here on my phone here. So
okay, go ahead. You can ask. You can ask. Jump in there.
And I know, John, we've kind of talked about this a little bit, but the band of the year, and in terms of where it's taken off to, it's still in its infancy, but it's growing by leaps and bounds. How important is it with regards to bands in that exposure, especially in the Red Lobster Band of the Year?
It's huge. Let's say first and foremost, nothing like that has ever existed. In the sense of not just providing, what I call a season-long opportunity, because at the end of the day, it's how to make bands better. And the only way you get better is because iron sharpens iron. And that is when you're in an arena to whereby how well you think you are is actually verified by people who are professionals in that. And then they provide, the committee provides feedback to the band directors with the intent of every band becoming sharper and getting better. But when you add that, Charles, across the platform, what is rewarding to me the most is when I walk and when I see a kid that's been in a band. I just ran into a young person from Southern University that was in Southern University band this weekend. They didn't know me up front, but I happened to see that they were wearing a ring, and it was their championship ring. And so I just approached him and said, hey, were you in the band of the year? And then he quickly showed me his championship ring. That to me, in terms of the band, is their symbol and reflection of greatness. And then the second part of that, which is why it's important, is because the amount of money that we pay directly to the band programs. If you make it to Atlanta, both bands get the same amount of money. It's not the winner gets more. You get the same amount of money paid directly into your band program at the Division II level, Division I level, and high schools. They're all getting, and the kind of money that we're paying is also unprecedented. The goal, at least for me personally, in this, is I see that our bands go out and they raise a lot of money to go to New York to perform in Macy's. They raise a lot of money to go to Pasadena to be in the Rose Bowl parade. But my view is, if you're going to invite me to come to New York, pay me. If you invite me to come to Pasadena, pay me. Versus doing that, now it's a great experience for the students. But if your bank account has zero in it when you come back, what value overall really is there other than an experience? And how does that really benefit your program? Because you'll go out there, great experience, parade is televised, you might get a minute. You might get two if you're lucky. And then the rest of it is along the route. Our goal is to have a mindset that what's in your bank account is what matters, more so than people selling you just on the value of exposure. Exposure is necessary. If you're able to also capitalize on the exposure, which we haven't got to the place yet that we're able to do that, to put systems in place and use the techniques, because there is a method to whereby if you get exposure that you can translate that into money. And that's coming too, because that's what we believe is important. And we've seen that happen with participants in the Celebration Bowl. We're seeing it happen with participants in the MEAC SWAC Challenge. And we know, well, actually, we're seeing it happen. Let me give you just real quick, if you don't mind. Sure. Dr. Taylor from Southern University. This, we know Southern went, 2-8 in football last year? Am I right when I say that?
2-10.
I'm sorry?
10.
2-10. Yes.
They went 2-10.
2-10.
2-10. Somebody keeps saying that. Thought it was an echo for a moment.
Yeah. It was a purposeful echo.
But the band came home with a national championship. So the band got the key to the city. The band directors got raises. The university doubled their scholarships. And then they also authorized the commission of a park named after the human jukebox. So there are two ways to a national championship now, whereas before there was only one. So if your football team doesn't get there, your band can get there, and the university still wins.
Can I follow that up quickly?
Well,
just quickly.
I had one from the masses as well. If we have time, if not, no worries.
Just quickly, John. Can you talk about the Celebration Bowl bump? And what I mean by that is teams that appear in the Celebration Bowl, how they see different increases in attendance, donations, applications, etc. And has that also equated to the Band of the Year participants?
The answer is yes and yes. But keeping in mind the Band of the Year is still very new, but we're seeing it happening in some of the examples I just gave you. Also, Dr. Taylor indicated the amount of applicants he received for people who want to be in the band has exploded. And that's a band program along with others that hasn't had a problem, but I'm talking about exploded to whereby now he's in a position where he can just take the best musicians. But it does happen. Celebration Bowl generates, no question about it, a huge increase in applications for participating universities. Win or lose, if you're on the stage, your applications are going to go up. Alumni and donor giving always goes up. And if you're a state institution, we've seen for those that are participating, those specifically who win, state funding goes up. I mean, South Carolina State is a perfect example of that. I mean, and if you go on South Carolina State's campus right now, you wouldn't recognize it because all the cranes they have on site and buildings going up that are part of the increase in state funding they receive for winning the Cricket Celebration Bowl presented by Toyota.
Mike, you had a question you wanted to get into some?
Yeah, let me preface by saying this was from two people from Prairie View A&M. They're business majors. They're casual fans. And, I told them who we were interviewing. They jumped on. So they said, our whole family drives Toyota. There seems to be brand recognition, particularly in the African-American community. So their question was, they're business majors. So they said, if this was a dashboard, if cultural impact was a dashboard, let me make sure I got it. Yeah, if cultural impact was a dashboard, kind of like you look at vehicle performance, what is the one thing or the one metric you'd hate to see in the red? Yeah.
What is the one matrix I'd hate to see in the red is my viewership. Because that drives everything. I can live with the up and down or dip in attendance. But if viewership goes in the red, then the whole the entire enterprise becomes at risk, and you're just a normal, especially with the amount of money that people spend. And our approach to sponsorship, and let me add this, is I'd rather have fewer and go deeper with fewer than to have a lot and really just be on the surface with many of them. It takes me the same amount of time to service someone giving $15,000 as it does to someone giving $100,000. And so, therefore we have minimum entry level thresholds for our properties for that very purpose. And as a result of that, why this also matters, companies also look at who else is involved. If they see like brands involved, the other thing that made a difference for Toyota, because they could look and see other Fortune 500 and Fortune 100 companies on the list, and they didn't see any non-relevant company on the list. And so it made it okay. If you got these companies are like us. They know that, and they do sponsorships in a major way. So you obviously know what you're doing if you have those brands, and that's helpful too.
That makes a lot of sense. Last one I have here is another question from the board. And I'm going to preface this to say, I know at the beginning there was a time where you almost had like a trophy tour. And I guess that was introductory in a lot of ways. So this is in some ways in line with that. Any marketing in our SWAC and MEAC teams' home stadiums, or anything from that perspective that broadens the market to the institutional level?
That's a very, very good question. And the answer to that question is yes. Because we do work through the conferences, provide our assets to the conferences, and make sure first the conferences pushing that out to their member institutions, specifically for the Celebration Bowl, and to make sure that, because all these teams are trying to get to Atlanta for that. The next part that we are working on is a little bit different there, because the band programs don't necessarily fall under the conference itself. But you're going to start seeing those spots running at halftime in games, promoting the band of the year, and we're working with institutions to be able to do that as well on a paid advertising basis. So that again, our goal is how do we get money to our HBCUs, and creating channels for that to occur, but then teaching them also how to capitalize on the exposure that they get as well.
Good stuff. I know I said last. We got one more here.
last.
Talked about this off the record, so I thought it was a good one I wanted to share because I know you had thoughts of this. Data-driven HBCUs, and I've seen them do some good work, so I wanted to put this out there based on some of the metrics they've been putting out. What are the roadblocks to creating a 14 playoff?
Timing. There isn't, and scheduling, and what that would look like. So if you right now you have the Bayou Classic sort of at the end of the SWAC season, going right into the SWAC championship, and then going out right after that into the bowl game. So timing and scheduling is one. The second part of it is none of that works if you don't have available television time. And that's the other major factor, because TV time is all tied up until you get to week 2 where we are. They're all tied up with championship weekend. They're all tied up with around Thanksgiving with rivalry weekend. And so there isn't really any window, and there is zero appetite to move the bowl game later, because now you're moving it into the mouth of jaws, I would call it, because the week after us, the NFL schedule, they start playing on Saturday.
Yeah. Along with the college playoff.
Along with the college ball.
The college playoffs, yeah.
Right. And so there is really no appetite, there's no value, nor is there a window or opportunity to create an additional playoff. And I've heard about that a lot. But then you have to look at what is the value and how can you deliver the value, and all the things that would deliver the value do not exist.
No doubt. Great place to point it out. I tried to sneak in a place for you to give us some new information out there, but you were smart. You played it off and adjusted really well.
Well, I
And
can
got
tell
into
you
the
this.
question scenario. So I want to give you credit. You're a professional as you best as they come. So I will
Yeah.
let you off the hook this time.
I will say that I have one person who texts me. She's a female listener. She said, "I don't always watch this show, but he look all debonair and good. Why don't y'all dress like that?" I'm not gonna tell you what I responded to her.
Man, so
I
long.
Oh,
Thank you.
So tell her to watch the show in the fall when I have a
Ex-
I know, right? Goodness.
Exactly. I'm not gonna tell you what I answered her back with.
Yeah, I know what you said. That's why I was trying to get you off the hook in another direction. But John, any
Unfortunately,
last
baby,
comments
this
you
is me.
wanna
This is
share?
all you gonna get from Drew.
Let me just say this. And what I am proud of, and we're seeing this, and I've heard you guys talk about it. We're seeing some movement and evolution. What the SWAC and Dr. McClellan and the SWAC conference is doing is an example of evolving the space, and they will pull their member institutions along with them. I mean, what they're doing with SWAC TV and how they're really managing their media assets, meaning, ESPN gets a piece, HBCU Go gets a piece, and then they have SWAC TV, which creates the scale that's needed to bring in the real advertisers with advertising money, and then with the recent announcement that they made. So hats off to them, and I hope that they are creating a model, which I believe they are, that the other conferences can simply follow in accordance to their own scale. In accordance to their own scale, you don't have to necessarily try to do it at the level that they are doing. SWAC's a bigger conference. But if you do it within the level of your own scale, the concept and the end result is the same. That you're able to create a content distribution system that allows you to monetize, the content you have in real meaningful ways, whereby advertisers are really interested in scale. So the blueprint is being laid out, and my congratulations out to him and to his team and the leadership in that regard, and their member leadership for seeing that vision and then taking the necessary steps. Give that thing 10 years, give it 15 years. I'm absolutely convinced it's going to really transform. No question in my mind, it's going to transform the Southwestern Athletic Conference. From what we see today, it's going to be a whole dynamic thing that we won't recognize, in my opinion.
Good stuff. I appreciate it. We'll take our last break. Bid you do, John Grant. Really appreciate the opportunity speaking with you today, and the ad hoc part of this, where we really got into some questions. I think we've educated a lot of folks, which is one of the main things we like to do inside the HBCU Sports Lab. So I thank you for taking those questions and opening it up. I thought it was really important.
Stay tuned, guys. I have even bigger announcements on the way.
Oh, so, now he wants to.
See, there you go, Mr. Grant.
I said a month or so ago, stay tuned. There are going to be a series. And so you've started to see them, and there are more to come. And there are some that are even more more significant than the one we just announced with Toyota.
Why are you treating us like a Netflix series? This is episode 1.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. See, that's why we have Mike on the show. Now you believe he back.
Treating us like a Netflix series.
Right back on the other side. Because if we
Stay tuned.
We don't have John Grant back on here.
Hey, y'all, since we're talking TV, that was a professional cliffhanger, everybody.
I was about to say a cliffhanger. Exactly.
I'm kidding. Sorry.
Good job. We'll be right back after this last break.
Thank you.
If you've ever told yourself, I want to get into real estate but don't know where to start, here's something just for you. From Friday, July 31st to Sunday, August 2nd, the Learn Real Estate Fast Masterclass is coming to McKenzie Office Park in College Park. You'll learn wholesaling, commercial investing, and how to purchase property with zero money or credit. I can tell you, education and access are everything. This masterclass is designed to give you both. Whether you're brand new or ready to level up, this is where you start making real moves. Enjoy free lunch, free study materials, and receive a certification of completion. So don't wait. Seats are filling fast. Do not sit on the sidelines while others build wealth. Take that first step toward ownership and legacy. Get your tickets now at learnrealestatefast.com or tickpick.com. For more information, call 678-859-3303. Master the market, build your legacy, secure your future today.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter. From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Great interview, great job, great questions by you all, and glad that you all were able to interject some of the questions that you were getting directly. Those that text you, tell them we thank them for listening to the show, but they can put their stuff in the comments. I don't know why they running for the, but I guess if you got direct sources, you can do that.
Don't nobody want to be seen like that.
Yeah, they don't.
And then they hope that we protect them if they ask.
Right, exactly.
If they text us personally versus the comments.
It's all good. It's all good. I know y'all high up there, and y'all got those executives on your list. It's different like that. But I did want to not end the show and share this information. I think this is pretty cool. We have two players that are getting an opportunity to try out, if you would, for the Team USA that will be playing this summer out of the country. And one of the assistant coaches is one of our very own, which is Coach Hernandez. So the invite, as you see, goes to Trey Calloway, coming out of Cary, North Carolina. And the other one is invited to the combine is Pablo Torres. So wanted to share that. Trey Calloway of Alabama State, Pablo Torres of Bethune-Cookman will be invited to the Team USA training camp. Also, both will have an opportunity to take part in the training camp for the Team USA to make the team that will head to Taiwan for the inaugural World Collegiate Championship held from July 7th to July 15th in Taiwan. Bethune-Cookman's Coach of the Year for the SWAC. Coach Hernandez will be an assistant coach for Team USA that will be going to Taiwan. And also Grambling State Coach Pierre will be assistant coach for the Stripes teams during the collegiate camp as well. So wanting to acknowledge baseball, you know, my son is a baseball fan, and I guess I can admit that I am as well. And so I wanted to make sure we added that and gave a little shout out to baseball. I know a lot of people are looking at the World Cup. College World Series literally just ended, but thought it was never too late to talk a little bit about baseball. AD Drew, you had something you wanted to add?
Didn't Coach Hernandez either with this position or a similar position last year when he was coaching a USA, a national team as an assistant coach?
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago that he had.
It's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's recognized and gotten the opportunity, and he's within that framework, which is good because it gives a lot of recognition to that. So wanted to make sure we share that. Charles, you wanted to add something in there as well?
Yeah, it speaks to the level of coaching in the SWAC. I mean, these are two tremendous coaches who won SWAC titles, but there's a lot of talent in this conference as well with baseball. I got an opportunity to see Trey Calloway up close, and in the time that I've been doing play-by-play with Texas Southern baseball, he's hit balls that nobody moved. You know, it was gone from the jump. So, I mean, he's a tremendous prospect. I do expect for him to get a good look in terms of getting an opportunity on the next level.
Yeah, and I've listened to one of those calls, and you're absolutely right. He was perfect over there in Texas Southern. You were amazed and did a great job of making sure everybody else understood why you were amazed and why they should be amazed. As that ball, I think people are still looking for it in McGregor Park.
In orbit.
Mike,
yeah.
Exactly. Any last comment for you? Mike?
No, with Coach Hernandez, I've seen a couple of his interviews, and I think it's just well deserved. I mean, he's been at several stops, so you know I don't know enough about his resume, but I just wanted to tip of the hat, because if you look at the coaching diaspora alone, he deserves it. Tip of the hat to that coach.
I was this close to following the team in Taiwan. I was going to get over it.
Yep.
But something else came up. So we'll see about the following years down the road. With that being said, I want to say thank you for listening to Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Make sure you share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. I am Dr. Kenyatta Cavil, the Dean of HBCU Sports, coming from inside the lab in the College of HBCU Sports with Mike Watson, Charles Bishop, and AD Drew. Want to give a shout out to my son Deuce, talking a little bit of baseball, as shared with him that Coach Hernandez will be assistant coach for the USA team traveling to Taiwan. Again, we want to thank you for listening to Dr. Bill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop every Tuesday and Thursday. So we'll be back on Thursday, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. And on Thursday, it's time to announce the top 6 AD and officially the AD of the year. So you get a chance to see what that looks like. Division 1. We're going to see if we can break down from a Division 2, see if we can get that in there as well on Thursday. We're going to work on that. So we look forward to the discussion on Thursday.
Yeah. See
what these gentlemen think about the ranking and the compilation of all the data that comes out, and see where their mind is on that.
And Sunday on BCSN Sports Wrap, our top 5
Final
HBCU
5
sports story of the previous athletic year.
They started with 25 and they've been breaking it down. They're down to the top 5. Check it out to see if your HBCU sports story is part of the top 5. This week on Sunday, obviously Carlos on Saturday. We'll be back on Thursday to give us our top 6 again. Dream big. Continue to move forward. We will talk with you soon. Charles?
Of course.
Mike?
Lecture.
AD.
Dismissed.